parent recently asked, how important are grades to my child's success? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach about parenting, family communication, and education all over the world. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about grades and how important they really are. Many parents worry about grades. In fact, there are probably more fights over children's grades than almost any other topic outside of family relationships. Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it? What a big pressure to put on a child and a strain to put in a relationship, especially if the grades are not doing good. But are those grades important? Let's talk about that. I'm going to share with you some stories from my life and some things that I've learned about grades over the years, raising a lot of children. And we're going to talk about what you can teach your child so that they don't feel as much pressure when it comes to their grades. My father was a school teacher. He taught high school, but he also was a college professor. And so, needless to say, school seemed like it was pretty important in my family. And grades seemed to be pretty important too. So I worked really hard and I got really good grades. And then came this phase in my life where I had my own children. And my children were now getting to the age where it was time for them to maybe start going to school. And I noticed that my oldest child was reading really early. He was reading at 3 years old. And academically, he was way ahead of a lot of people who would be in kindergarten. And I thought, oh boy, I cannot send him there. He's going to be so bored. And I know because I was bored in school and I don't want to do that to my child. And so we made the drastic decision, the very unlikely decision, to homeschool our son. And then we ended up homeschooling all of our children. Now, because I stepped out of the box of grades and normal matriculation into a new educational box, I see grades a little differently. I want you to know that my children do very well in college, get fantastic grades, have full ride scholarships because of straight A's. So they're great at grades, but I have never put grades as the important thing. And I think that's the part I want you to really understand, is that if grades are so important to you, then you might be missing the mark on some of the things that your children should be developmentally learning. Years ago, I was asked to go to China to speak with some people about child rearing. And in China, the biggest question I got was, how do I help my child do well in school? How do I help them do good on their tests and get good grades? Because in China, those children would have a responsibility to provide for the financial needs of their parents and grandparents. Those parents and grandparents put the highest priority on grades and academic excellence. Now, this isn't to say that academic excellence isn't important, but it's only one type of intelligence, and there are many other types of intelligence. In fact, the people that succeed the most in the world are ones who are good at practical intelligence, not just academic or intellectual intelligence. So, do I want to be putting all of my eggs in one basket for my child? Like, hey, if you aren't good at getting straight A's, then you have no value? No way. That puts too much pressure on my child. And when a child feels pressure, they go to midbrain, sometimes even back brain. This is going to negatively impact their intellectual intelligence, which is front brain activity. They won't even be able to think as well if they feel pressure during a test or during a class to do really well to please me or other people. Making grades be a competitive thing or something where that is the main focus. So if you want to get these special perks or benefits from mom and dad, then just get good grades. To me, that puts too much of an emphasis upon grades. So as I took on the task of homeschooling my children, I had to ask myself some important questions. What is education really? Is education about the marks on a piece of paper, or is it more than that? Before I talk about education and some of my other understandings about grades and their importance, click that subscribe button. There's a lot of great videos on this channel about education, homeschooling, and raising our children to learn self-government. If those things are interesting to you, you're not going to want to miss them. So click the subscribe button now. So when a child is young or in adolescence, what could be more important than their intellectual learning? Oh, there's a lot that's more important. When I was examining what I wanted my children to learn because I was going to be their teacher for everything, I realized that they're learning practical intelligence, which includes their social and emotional learning, their ability to talk with other people, to network, to explain themselves, to speak in front of other people. All of these types of things were going to be much more useful for my child than whether or not they got a certain grade on an exam. Do you know what grades are used for? Grades are actually used to rate a teacher, to see how well the teacher does at teaching the children. The grades also help the teacher determine who is the smartest in the class or if the information is getting through to the students. It's really just a gauge. The grades have nothing to do with the true intelligence of children. In fact, there are many people who were geniuses who actually got kicked out of school. Take Thomas Edison, for instance. Thomas Edison went to school. The school teacher called his mother in and said, your child is not smart and does not get to go here, so he's being expelled from the school. Thomas Edison, the guy who invented the light bulb, who invented a telephone, a phonograph, so many things that are credited to that man. He just didn't think in their boxes. He just didn't think their way. He thought outside the box. His mom took him home, homeschooled him. He built towers. He started a business. He ran a newspaper in a train car. The guy was amazing. A little eccentric, but amazing. So what did he have? He had initiative, drive, leadership skills, creativity. These were all things that are different types of intelligences. Was he academically smart too? Oh yeah, but did his mom give him the time to develop that without the pressure? Yes, and it made all the difference. So your child could be not doing well with their grades just because they have different types of intelligence. So focus on all the types of intelligence. Things that lead to good adult skills are also going to be vital. Does your child know how to service a lawnmower and cut the lawn in your yard? Does your child know how to bake bread or make homemade noodles? Does your child know how to call a customer service line and get help when their shipment did not arrive properly? What types of skills does your child know? Those are all vital skills for adult success. Do they have basic understanding of health or music? Those are things that you need to teach your child, and they don't necessarily relate to academics or intellectual intelligence. So I determined as a parent that practical intelligence, learning how to work, learning how to solve problems and communicate, those types of things were going to actually serve my children better than focusing so much energy on intellectual intelligence. So did I still teach them things intellectually? Absolutely. Did they take classes from other people too? Absolutely. And you know what? They are doing very well in all of their intellectual pursuits. But really, it's the practical intelligence pieces, the character pieces, how they can stick to something until it's done, how they can problem solve to make sure they don't stop until they get the A that they want. Those are the pieces of intelligence that really are serving them. So don't put pressure on your children. How important are grades really? They help people gauge. Now, there are certain agencies and programs that are continually trying to put more and more importance on grades, but don't you do it. There's enough people to put our children into boxes. We don't need to put our children into boxes too. Just see what they're good at and introduce that to them. Do you know every parent's a homeschooler anyway? It doesn't matter where your child goes to school or what grades they get. It really is you that is the primary teacher in their lives. So just give them other opportunities and don't worry as much about those things. Some of the greatest people that we've ever had in society have come through a different approach than the regular school and perfect grades approach. All these things I've been talking about do involve having more time with your child. If you've liked this video, I'm pretty sure you'll love my next video, which is what wise parents understand about time. Click on the link to that video now, and I'll see you there.